Clean it up. All right, anyway.
I'm down for talking about Batman, although I have no idea what you're talking about, so I'm a little anxious. I'm like, what about Batman? I'll talk about Batman, I guess, but...
Batman's the biggest piece of shit ever. That's what we're going to talk about. No, it was one of those things that we talk about one thing and it sort of just made me go on this tangent of thought like that.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, somebody was talking about how they can't watch embarrassing things in movies because they're really empathetic and then they just feel the embarrassment.
Yeah, both I and Dan are like that. With certain Dan more so than me, but like I have the same thing. Like but I am too. Like if I'm watching something, like it's for Dan, it's just a thing of just like it turns his gut. For me, it turns my gut, but it's more a question of just like I'm like, you idiot! If you just did this, it wouldn't be I get frustrated because I'm watching this person like. You know when like that stupid movie trope of like someone walks in there and it's like, oh, it's not what it looks like. It's like, you know, if you took 2 seconds and spoke like a fucking human being, you could explain what's happening. I get like more mad at, and Dan gets more like, It's
like, I've been in that situation. That whole situation is my life.
Oh, it feels like there's iron butterflies fluttering on my stomach.
They're just eating my heart.
But yeah, but what does that have to do with Bootman?
So basically, they mentioned that, and then the clip they provided was the
Batman eating a hot dog.
No, it was Spider-Man 3. Everybody knows the scene with Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire's it up,
just
pops his collar,
just down the street
with his like greasy hair, and his eyes as red as Rudolph's nose.
And he's like, "Yeah, you ladies love it."
I know,
and it's like,
yeah. And somebody was like, "Yeah, one of the most awkward scenes in cinema." And I was like, "Yeah, I can't really think too much of like anything that was intentional." But then as I was thinking of that, I thought of The Dark Knight. And it was like when Batman gets stabbed and he makes that face.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
And then I just kept thinking about that entire movie line. And I was like... Because I thought I was like, wait a minute. Bruce Wayne has, like, all the money. Like,
sure.
A lot of money.
Well, the first two. Not so much in the last one.
No, but I mean, in general, just, like, that character.
Mm-hmm, yes.
And I was like, okay, so he's got all this technology to make tanks and all these, like, high-tech gizmos and all the training and stuff. And then I was like, okay, so if the Dark Knight series is, like, a more realistic, quote-unquote, version of Batman, like a more adulty one...
Mm-hmm.
Why did somebody allow Christian Bale to make those faces, do those voices, and it's like Bruce Wayne has all that money. Why couldn't he just do like a voice synthesizer?
He probably could. I mean, you're not breaking any new ground. This is like. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. This is like...
Oh, yeah, this is the bullshit of, oh, no, the power is out now. All the rooms are dire.
Oh, now we have to do it all
just like
over
Batman!
Again. Just like the Batman would have done.
Yeah. But that's what I was thinking about.
I mean, you're not... I guess, like, this is something that people have been talking about since, like, 2005, whenever Batman Begins.
Now the game gets hard because now I have no save.
What was Batman Begins? Like, 2005, 2006? Like... No, because we were still in high school, so I think 2005.
Basically, I gotta get the fuck at... Wait, I think I gotta go down there. Because I have to go to the basement and get the power back on.
Like, it's one of those things where, like, you know, as soon as the... Like, literally, from the first second that Christian Bale Batman opens his mouth and goes just like, where are they?
Give me back my son!
Every single person in the theater turned to the person next to them and went like, no, right?
Yeah.
None of us want this to be, right? No. All of us agree. And then every single person was like, no, we think this is silly. And then Christopher Nolan was just like, no, you don't know. And then they kept doing it.
Yeah, because I was like... Oh, yeah, the phone was ringing and I answered. But because I was just people were watching him.
You know why? Here's why. Because it's exactly what you said it was. Remember you saying like, oh, it's a more realistic version of Batman. Why would they do that? And it's like, they did that because it's a more realistic version of Batman.
No. But that's exactly what I was saying. Because it's like, all right, I understand it in an animated version of Batman. Because it's like, yeah, you're not seeing anybody. So the only thing we really have is... Is that the same one ringing? Or is it a different one? Yeah.
Well, there's like 5 phones in this room.
Yeah.
Pick one. Hello? Mario? Why are you calling me on the phone? But since you were in the room. Okay.
That's it. Oh, I know where he is.
Uncle Gramley.
He's a piece of shit.
Uncle Fester. No.
Oh God.
Get his ass.
Yeah, but it was in that thing of like, so yeah, I understand with the cartoons that will just, the voices will just be on it because that's all we really got. We only have the voice to go on. Mm-hmm. But like with the Christian Bale ones, like why could, like, instead of letting him make a fool of himself, why couldn't they just say that? It's like, okay, we have a monster tank. We have the technology to make the monster tank. So why not just have it be like, oh, he's got a voice like modifier in his cowl?
Because then they're not letting Christian Bale do the act. Then they're not letting him do the acting.
Well, it wasn't acting. It was just like.
But like that's the idea. The idea is like it's like if you go and you modify his voice. It's like if you do that with the voice. Also, that would be even more. Okay, there's something decidedly funny about the voice modulator voice. Yeah. So if Batman had that voice, it would be actually funnier. Because like, remember the scene from Super Troopers? It's just like,
touch, bend your waist and touch your toes. I'm gonna show you what a wild goose can.
It didn't have to be that artificial, but something to just make it that like his voice is just different enough that they would.
Anything you do to make his voice sound different enough is gonna sound silly. It's gonna sound like really distorted. It's gonna sound really weird. And it's gonna sound inhuman, and it's gonna be like the character. It's gonna sound really artificial and like weird. The reason that he does here's why he does the raspy, crazy Batman voice. I'll settle this once and for all. Is this reason? Whenever you watch any Batman movie,
oh my God,
any Batman movie pre-Batman Begins, every actor who portrays Batman, their Batman voice is hardly any different than their normal speaking voice. Like, whether it's Michael Keaton or it's Val Kilmer or George Clooney, doesn't matter. Like, it's like their normal talking voice is like this, and their Batman voice is like this. And it's barely any different. The reason that Christian Bale is doing the, where are you, is because
so nobody will recognize
his voice is so unrecognizable. Anybody can do that voice. Like, fucking Pete Holmes does that voice for the Batman things. Like, he sounds exactly like Christian Bale when he does that voice. Like, It is actually a brilliant thing if you really think about it, as silly and stupid as it sounds, because it doesn't sound cool. It's brilliant because you'd never be able to pick his voice out of a voice lineup. If Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne walk up to you and talk to you, you'd never be like, that voice sounds familiar. You'd never recognize because you're not making it any easier by turning away and letting him do his business. And that's the whole reason. The whole reason why is because like that voice is unrecognizable. It could be any dude's voice. And the reason they didn't do the artificial voice is just for that reason. He's not a robot. He's a man. And he has to sound like Batman, not Bat-Robot. People, and here's why. Trust me, the Americans movie audience is really dumb. If he had a robot voice, people would be questioning it nonstop. Like, why does he sound like I don't understand what's happening.
Because they could, but I'm not saying like to make him sound like a robot, but like they couldn't just say there's like a thing just to make it sound a touch different instead
First off, nobody in that production had a problem with it. They all thought it sounded fine. That's why they let it happen, because they all thought it sounded. I'm betting
I think they just didn't want to tell Christian Bale no.
I'm telling you right now. Fucking is fucking. I'm getting confused now. Christian Bale and then the director Christopher Nolan. Because like it's two C names. I got confused a minute. I'm sure Christopher Nolan hadn't thought about that voice. The same thing I'm explaining to you right now. He's like, oh yeah, your voice, Batman. He's like, when you think about it, Batman would do that voice, and also it's not that ridiculous because like Rorschach does that voice.
Yeah, but he's got, like, facey thing.
I know, but not when he has the mask on. His voice sounds so rough and grizzled that it's intimidating. Like, his Batman's voice is the same as the fucking Rorschach voice. And the Rorschach voice isn't copying the Dark Knight voice. Like, if you ever saw, why am I...
Oh yeah, I'm fighting Grandpa, and I have to give him a heart attack. While you're going on about Batman.
Yeah, was it Grant Morrison? I'm blanking on comic book creator names. But the guy who did Watchmen, if you ever watch him do, like, readings, like, he'll do, like, like, actual, like, personal, public readings of chapters of the story, like, whenever he does Rorschach, that's the voice he does for that character. So, like, that's what he thinks Rorschach sounds like. So it's one of those things where, like, there are comic book people who think that these characters have those voices. So it's the reason that we think it's so hilarious is because it's an actor who's a good actor who can act, who we expect to give a cool, subtle, nuanced performance as Batman, and he goes, "I'm not wearing hockey pants," and we all go, "What? This is like a joke thing." And then Pete Holmes is like, "Right? It's a joke thing, right? Hold on a second. I got a little sketch coming up here." And then he made an entire career, and now he has a talk show. He has a whole fucking talk show. Just because of that fucking voice.
Oh God.
Oh. His talk show's weird. It's like Conan gave him that show, and it's basically like a talk. It's basically like a talk show for comedians. Like I realized something I realized watching that, like, Pete Holmes is a comedian for comedians. Like, because his first like couple guests, like a big slew of his first guests, were all comedians. So it made me realize that, like, I think like he's one of those guys that like people like to have, and regardless, like it's like, you know, Mark Maron, and it could all the way from like, you know, Mark Maron and Patton Oswalt to like more, you know, like more, you know, whatever, you know, more friendly comedians, or whatever you want to say. Like, and I think it's one of those things where like he's just a guy you want to have around because he just makes you feel like good.
Makes you feel
and
special.
I feel like that's why he has a career, because everyone who's interact with him in the industry is like, I love this guy. Let's give him a show. But then I watch it, I'm just like, I don't know if like, and maybe I'm wrong, but like I feel like I don't know if the average talk show audience is getting from him what all these other comedians are getting. Like, I see it for sure, but I don't know if everybody does, and maybe I'm crazy.
You are crazy. You got the cray-cray. Oh, but I got the lights back on.
I mean, it's hard to tell because you're in a dark room.
You can't tell here, but I did. That's what I just did.
I can't tell any
I turned the
progress was
lights
made.
on. After I killed Grandpa Ghost.
Turn the lights on.
And this is more of those weird footy things.
What is this?
We're in the
That's soot?
Yeah. But basically there's little things on the floor remember when I got the ice power, I could go on the ceiling for like that one instant.
Yeah, that little power pad thing that let you do that.
Yeah, I had to like just suck up the dirt.
Are there some here that are hidden?
Yeah, there's like another one over here somewhere, and then there was one over there. But I also like cleaning. You know, cleaning.
Cleaning the cleans.
But it's just like...
Shake the burl.
Ooh, heart.
No, listen, the best thing that Christian Bale could have done for that role was just give Batman a subtle, nuanced voice that was just different than his own voice. But to be fair to him, he has a UK accent, so I'm sure just doing the Bruce Wayne voice was hard enough to put on that accent all the time. I'm sure asking him to get another different voice on top of his American accent was probably asking too much of him.
I suppose.
You know, imagine having to like force yourself to do this accent and keep it consistent the entire time and never drop it, but also make your voice sound like a different person while doing that accent. It was probably just way easier to be like, "Hi, I'm a Batman.
Give me back my
Swear to me."
yeah.
And then fucking Bane comes in. Oh yeah. It's just like, oh dear.
I see you, Batman.
Shaking that ass.
Why did we go here?
Why go where? You're the one who's doing all this.
No. I don't.
I see you about that.
Okay.
I do like that you're asking the question that, like, it's like everyone's been asking this question for the last 10 years. Nobody understands why he did it. It's just a thing. It happened for 3 movies and we all accept it now. Like, it's just a thing.
I'm like...
Presumably Ben Affleck won't be doing the same thing. I would love it if like Ben Affleck in the Batman, Superman, Justice, whatever movie, is just like, Superman! Just like, oh god, like he just...
No! Christian Bale has murdered Batman forever!
No, it'd be great is if like we kept talking like, yeah, Ben Affleck's gonna be it. And like we all think Ben Affleck's gonna be Batman, but then the movie begins and it's fucking Pete Holmes as Batman.
Oh god.
Superman!
But since you're on that, can I just talk about how like, remember on the WB there was like the Batman Superman adventures?
Sure.
And for some reason that cartoon was kind of shitty in its story, but we still like people still loved it.
Yeah,
I know I did, because I'm like, no, because Batman and Superman were totally dating in that cartoon. They were boyfriend and girlfriend, and you can't tell me different.
Except for the fact that Bruce Wayne was dating Lois and totally cuckolded Superman.
No, it's like they were just there for show.
Here's the thing, I can't take your opinion on it because
you didn't watch it.
No, I did watch it, but I can't take it because like you you have a tendency to ship people that you really like, even though it's just like look at them. I'm like, they're barely interacting with one another. No, they're in love. Fight, kiss.
No, but I'm telling you, rewatch some episodes.
Are you talking about the 1996, 98
it was literally called
Batman Superman Adventures, the animated one, where they had like one crossover that was like 4 episodes long, and that was the only time. Yeah, and the Joker for some reason like, I'll kill Superman, and Lex Luthor was like, whatever, I don't care. Like literally, his attitude towards his Joker killing Superman was just like, whatever. If you fail, I don't give a shit because who cares? I don't care about you.
I will laugh.
Yeah, it's like I'll be the one laughing. And then Harley fights Mercy, and like they both come out of it beat up, even though Mercy would totally beat the shit out of Harley. I love Harley, but like Mercy's a fucking like badass and would beat the shit out of Harley Quinn. But whatever.
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about. Who knew who Mercy is, right? He was his chauffeur, the female chauffeur of his.
Oh yeah.
Luthor had that female chauffeur who was blonde, and she had like the
didn't she
black,
always like
the black like dress and like chauffeur jacket, and she looked like a female Kato.
Really? She was blonde?
She was blonde. You could barely tell because she was wearing that that hat, but she had blonde hair. She actually had long blonde hair that she had in like a bun.
Because I was like, I remember somebody in that outfit, but like with red hair.
No, not Mercy was totally blonde. I remember because she shows up later in Justice League.
Dun.
In Justice League, she takes over. You know what she does in Justice League? She takes over LexCorp. After Lex goes to jail, she becomes the CEO of LexCorp. But
I don't think I watched that far because I'm like, I don't remember that.
It was actually like in one of the earlier seasons of just before they got to Unlimited. I think is when that happened.
Gotta keep checking. I'm still in the dark.
He looks so silly when you do the little spinny spin.
The spin?
Yeah. Gotta keep my eyes on the prize.
Eyes on the prize. Eyes on the prize.
My favorite.
Oh my God, money!
My favorite moment of all time, particularly as a child who was like super into Batman and didn't like Superman, was the moment when Batman and Superman meet for the first time, and Superman puts his hand on Batman's shoulder like, listen, and he puts his hand on his shoulder, and Batman just flips him over his shoulder and like breaks him through a table, and it goes in slow-mo, and the look on Superman's face is like, I can't fucking believe it that a human being just threw me across the room. Like he can't understand what happened.
You broke Superman.
It's like my favorite part. It's just like, what?
Batman going to teach you some things.
It very much so. And then Batman pulls out the kryptonite. He's like, look, shut the fuck up. I'm fucking your girlfriend, and there's nothing you can do about it. And it's like, okay.
Oh, look, balls. Balls.
That was all. That series wasn't great because like that was when we got like the much shittier like Batman who like he lost any kind of human empathy and he was just like a robot Batman.
He was robot Batman.
He was very much like whatever. I just gotta do what I gotta do. I don't care anymore.
No, I don't have lights in there. You can't be in there. Fuck you.
Do you remember the Batgirl Supergirl crossover? It was from the same series.
Yes.
But it was and like literally Batgirl rides Supergirl like she's a motorcycle. She rides it like she's a flying carpet. Do you remember this?
I do, and it was like the stupidest.
Like she's flying for, and she's just got Batgirl sitting on her small of her back, and they're just flying around like that. And they had to, and it was literally, it was an all-girl episode. It was Supergirl and Batgirl, and they were fighting. Who were they fighting? They were fighting Livewire. They were fighting like 3 female supervillains. I think Livewire was one of them. I don't know if Harley and Poison Ivy were. Yes, it was Livewire, Poison Ivy, and Harley Quinn.
Look at this bullshit.
Had teamed up together, and for some reason, I don't know why Batman and Superman weren't involved, but for some reason, Batgirl
they were
and Supergirl.
Watching. They were waiting for like a mud fight to happen. They were just like, aw, shit.
Yes, even though like half of these people were like 16.
Oh, but it's fine.
And
they're immortal.
Oh my god! And then Batman totally fucks Barbara, and it's like, ew, ew, no. That was the worst part. That was the worst part. Was when they revealed that Batman was totally fucking Barbara. I was just like,
I can't, no.
Come on. She was like 20 and he's like 35, and it's just like, not that big of an age difference, but like.
But like the characters.
But the characters involved in the fact that like Dick almost married Barbara. And Dick was his surrogate son. He's like, I'm gonna fuck my son's girlfriend. I don't care. I'm an asshole. I'm an irredeemable piece of shit.
Oh, God.
It's not like I'm Batman.
Wink.
It's not like I'm a superhero who knows better. It's not like I've trained and meditated my whole life and have a perfect control over my body and perfect control over my libido. And no, never mind. It's just dick everywhere. Jizz everywhere. Just 18 illegitimate sons, all Batman, flying around.
But that's how we get the League of Batman. That's how it started, right? That's where the idea came.
Fucking Talia, fucking Selena, fucking Babs.
All of them.
Everybody get fucked.
Oh, everybody get to Batman. Well, come on. Everybody loved a Batman.
That's why I like to me, like, the fucking, like, that fourth season of Batman is so inferior to, like, the first 3 seasons. Because, like, his character is, like, so, like, just wrong.
He's smiling.
How is he smiling and whistling? Is he doing that little whistle through his teeth?
Yes. His big old teeth. His shark teeth. His
He's like,
2 teeth.
My name is Luigi.
Well, because it's like, I don't want to do the other ones because, like, I got you talking about Batman we went over.
Yes. Oh, yeah, no, but I'm going to break these into 2 episodes. Fine.
Okay.
And that's why I kept going, because it's been like 40 minutes now. So I just break these into 220. Like,
it's just like one episode, and here's the
like,
Batman.
once we got to 25 minutes, I was like, fuck it, we'll keep going. Like, it was one of those things where, like, you missed the rest day, stop, and you're like, fuck it, just keep going. There's another one in 40 miles. Just keep going.
This is the Batman special.
Listen, you can't start me talking about Batman. I won't stop talking about it.
I know, that's why I got you on Batman.
To me, the next, like, 8 episodes is going to be all about Batman.
That's fine, I love Batman.
Oh my god.
Should we pause it here?
I guess.
Before we start this fun fight?
Remember when Batman made out with Cheetah?
Ew.
That totally happened.
Batman needs to stop making out
He won't stop. He will not stop. He's like, hey,
He's a force that can't be reckoned
It's
with.
like, do you have a vagina? And she's like, maybe. And he's like, good enough. I'll buy you one. Like, that's how rich I'd be.
Men are from Mars, lady from Jupiter. I've got a yum, and you get what was that?
I like how you can't even do it. Like, you're so off. Venus and penis rhyme. Like, how did you fuck that up that badly?
Because I'm thinking about it and I'm laughing too hard. I can't, Frank. I can't.
Okay, we're gonna cut
I
out
need
here.
to cut it.
We're gonna cut out
I
here.
need to cut it. God damn it.
Goodbye.